Hey players, when I first started college, there were a lot of questions that were running through my mind. Am I gonna do good on my test? Will I ever make friends? And how am I gonna find a girlfriend here? At the beginning of my orientation, I had met a girl that I instantly vibed with. Sounds great, right? Actually, no. See, this is the story of why things didn't work out and what you can learn from my mistakes.
This is the Josh Speaks. Watching the Josh Speaks.
College orientations are always kind of weird. You don't really know anyone, and yet they expect everyone to start mingling and getting along right before they start school. But like I said before, everyone has a million thoughts and questions running through their mind. They're getting used to the new environment, the new school, and the new people. Keep in mind, this is after that initial orientation where they have you and your parents meet everyone and say hello and they talk about the school. This is the one where you're there on your own, the day right before you start your classes, and you guys all know how my first day of college turned out for me. Luckily, I sat at a table with pretty cool people that I didn't end up talking to for the rest of my college life, except for one girl in particular. She was sitting next to me and she initiated the conversation with me. She asked me where I was from, what high school I went to, and what were some of my hobbies. I felt so incredibly relieved. Seeing that she was dictating the conversation by asking me questions, I felt like I could just open up and be honest and safe around her. Which is the key thing I'm always telling you guys to do if you like someone. Create that safe environment where they can open up around you. But anyway, me and her continued talking, and we found out that we both lived in the same exact building in college. I lived on a college campus that was set up like this. There were tons and tons of buildings which each had their individual dorm rooms, and those groupings of buildings were considered a cluster of some sort, and there were tons and tons of clusters all over the campus. So just on happenstance, meeting someone who lived in the same cluster in the same building as me was pretty cool. Not to mention the fact that she was an attractive girl, she was talking to me, which was making things a whole lot easier. So of course, because of that whole interaction, we decided, hey, we gotta keep in touch. So I got her phone number and she had mine. And from there, my gut started to feel a certain way while my brain was thinking differently. In my mind, I was thinking, man, I got this in the bag. I'm gonna talk to her, we're gonna get to know each other, go out. She's gonna be my first girlfriend in college. But my gut was saying, dude, can you actually do that? I started to feel incredibly nervous. The idea of her not liking me, not wanting to talk to me, not wanting to hang out with me, and living in the same buildings would make things incredibly awkward. Within that first week, we ended up texting each other sparingly. I think we were both getting a little situated in our rooms, in our environment, and then we would probably decide to hang out. In the beginning, they had made my room into a triple, meaning it was me with the single bed, and on the other side of the room was a bunk bed with two guys. I remember all three of us being in the room. In the beginning, everyone left their doors open so that people could say hi and get to know each other. So this girl ended up walking down the hall, spotted me through the door, and came in the room. She came over, gave me a hug, sat on my bed, and continued to talk about what her experiences were like right there in the beginning with her new roommates. We were talking and laughing, and eventually when she headed out, both of my roommates were like, dude, nice. Now, I didn't really do anything. It kind of all just fell into my lap. But this was the problem. Because it had fallen into my lap, I wasn't being proactive. As the week rolled on, she ended up texting me and asking me if I wanted to go grab food with her in the middle of the day, to which I said yes. And in instances like that, I would go meet her. We would get food, we would hang out, and then go back to our own dorm rooms. This happened a few times a week, whether it was for lunch or dinner, but eventually she stopped contacting me for food. I was too nervous to ask her because I felt like I'd be interrupting her or bothering her, and I just didn't know how to really handle that situation. We added each other on Facebook, but I felt like it was way too weird to message her because she lived in my building. I could probably just go up to her door, knock on it, and ask her anything I wanted to. Then one day at 3 in the morning, the fire alarms went off. I jumped out of bed, I ran out of the building, and there she was, sitting there in tiny little shorts and a big sweatshirt. I was all like, from a distance, but then she walked on over to me, said hi, gave me a hug, and asked me what I've been up to. It wasn't just a normal, hey, what have you been up to? It was more along the lines of, oh, hello, distant friend, how are you? I quickly picked up on that, but I still didn't do anything. I wasn't being proactive. I kind of just casually talked to her, didn't really set up any plans for the future or anything at all, and we both went back to our rooms after the fire drill was done. I would see her around campus and in my building from time to time, and we'd both give each other that whole little, oh, hey, how's it going type of greeting. Eventually, I saw that she was starting to hang out with a bunch of sorority girls, so of course, my gut thought one thing and my brain thought another. I, of course, was thinking, man, this is the perfect opportunity to meet tons of girls, to be in with them, to have lots and lots of cool female friends. but my gut was saying, dude, you can't do that. So once again, my gut won. We continued to do that whole little, oh, hey, how's it going type of thing, and it was just awkward as hell. Eventually, the semester ended, we took our winter break, and when we came back, I found out that she had moved to a different building to go live with her sorority sisters. This, of course, felt like a fail on my part. I had this opportunity. This girl started talking to me in the beginning. She was willing to hang out. She wanted me to build something. I choked. And it wasn't until about 2 years later that I was randomly getting food with my friends somewhere else on the other side of campus when I ran into her again. This time around, I noticed her from a distance, and I wasn't really too sure if I should go talk to her, so I kind of did that whole let me walk around you thing on the food court. She ended up spotting me though, and it wasn't until we both made eye contact with each other that she came over and said hello. It was a nice experience, don't get me wrong, but it was awkward because here we are, we had grown in our own different ways, and we were trying to reconnect over something that we shared for probably only 2 or 3 weeks in the beginning of the school year. In the end, I gave her a hug, I said goodbye, and that was probably the last time I would ever see her again. Was it a missed opportunity? You betcha. But the one thing I walked away learning was that all you have to do is try. You lose nothing from asking someone. Even if they say no, you at least give yourself a shot. What do you think though? Have you ever been in a situation where someone you liked gave you the opportunity to talk and initiate with them, but you just failed to deliver? Leave your comment below and let me know. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I put out a new video every Tuesday and Friday sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And if this is your first time hearing a story of mine, check out the playlist down below with all the other kinds of stories and experiences I've had. I'm talking about breaking up with my first girlfriend, almost failing out of college, everything. I share it with you guys. Be mindfully aware when situations like mine present themselves to you. Take action and do something, because something is always better than nothing. As always, guys, love and peace.